Have you ever wondered whether an animal remembers you long after you've walked away? Not for a few minutes, not for a day, but for years. You probably think memory belongs to humans, that language, culture, and intelligence gave us a unique ability to remember faces and emotions. Science tells a different story. Some animals remember kindness for decades. Others remember fear just as long. And some may recognize your face long after you've forgotten theirs. Imagine meeting a crow today. You feed it once, you never see it again. 5 years later, another crow begins following you through the same neighborhood. Coincidence? Or something much stranger? Researchers have spent decades trying to answer that question. What they discovered changes the way you should think about every creature around you. Your face may already exist inside memories that aren't human. This night, when the sun goes down, you will flip a light switch. You won't think about it. You'll simply expect the light to appear. Your brain depends on prediction. Every second, it guesses what will happen next. Animals do something surprisingly similar. Memory is not just storage. Memory is survival. Every remembered face could represent food, or danger, or trust. If remembering increases the chance of staying alive, evolution protects that ability. That is why memory evolved again and again across the animal kingdom. Not because animals wanted to remember, because forgetting was expensive. Could an animal remember you better than you remember it? Scientists at the University of Washington asked exactly that question. They wore frightening masks while capturing wild crows for routine research. Nothing harmful. The birds were released within minutes. Years later, researchers walked through the same campus. Some wore the original masks, others did not. The results were astonishing. The crows immediately recognized the threatening faces. They screamed, they followed, they warned other crows. Young crows that had never witnessed the original event joined the alarm. Knowledge had spread across generations. One unpleasant encounter had become part of the community's memory. Your face had become a lesson. Think about that. A bird with a brain smaller than a walnut may remember someone for years, and it may teach others to remember as well. Approximately 1 in every 10 humans is left-handed, and that proportion has remained stable for at least 500,000 years. Human evolution preserves useful traits. Animal evolution does exactly the same. Memory survives because it works. Researchers studying elephants found something equally remarkable. Elephant families can recognize individuals after decades apart. Older females remember distant watering holes that younger elephants have never seen. During severe droughts, these ancient memories become the difference between life and death. Memory is not nostalgia. It is a biological map. Some elephants have even recognized humans they encountered many years earlier. Both kindness and cruelty leave lasting marks. The same pattern appears in horses, dogs, dolphins, parrots, octopuses. Different brains, different environments. The same evolutionary solution. Remember what matters. But memory is not simply about faces. It is also about emotion. Your own brain works that way. You rarely remember every ordinary Tuesday. You remember the day everything changed. Emotion tells the brain what deserves permanent storage. Animals appear to use the same principle. Would you forget the face that saved your life, or the face that nearly ended it? Researchers studying dolphins discovered they recognize the signature whistles of former companions after more than 20 years apart. That is one of the longest social memories ever documented outside humans. Think about what that means. A sound heard decades earlier can still trigger recognition. A friendship can outlive entire generations of other animals. Scientists once believed such long-term social memory required language. Evidence no longer supports that assumption. Perhaps language is only one way to remember, not the only way. We invented sunscreen because our own sun is trying to kill us. Evolution never promised comfort. It only rewards survival. Memory follows the same rule. The brain keeps what improves tomorrow. Everything else slowly disappears. Now consider dogs. Most people believe dogs love humans because we trained them. The story is more complicated. Thousands of years of evolution selected animals that feared us less. Generation after generation, those with calmer temperaments reproduced more successfully. Eventually, something extraordinary happened. Reduced fear became genuine social attachment. Dogs did not simply learn to tolerate humans. Their biology changed. Hormones associated with trust and bonding became stronger. Looking into your eyes releases oxytocin in both you and your dog. The same hormone strengthens the bond between parents and infants. Love itself became part of evolution. The famous Belyaev fox experiment demonstrated how selecting only for friendliness rapidly transformed behavior, appearance, and even memory. Within surprisingly few generations, foxes behaved more like affectionate dogs. Their ears changed, their tails changed, even their faces changed. Fear reshaped biology, and biology reshaped memory. What else inside your own mind exists only because your ancestors survived long enough to remember danger? Perhaps your fears are inherited echoes. Perhaps your instincts are ancient memories written into genes rather than thoughts. Researchers studying rats found they quickly remember places associated with pain. Birds remember food caches months after hiding thousands of seeds. Clark's nutcrackers can relocate thousands of hidden seeds across enormous territories with astonishing precision. Without that memory, winter would be impossible. Octopuses solve puzzles. Bees remember profitable flowers. Salmon remember the chemical signature of the river where they were born. Sea turtles cross entire oceans before returning to the exact beaches where life began. Different nervous systems, different worlds, the same invisible ability. Remember, adapt, survive. So where does memory actually exist? Inside neurons? Inside chemical connections? Or inside something even more mysterious? Neuroscience continues searching for answers. Every remembered face changes tiny connections between brain cells. Every experience rewires the network. You are physically altered by everyone you remember. The same may be true for countless animals that have crossed your path. Perhaps somewhere, at this very moment, a crow still recognizes your face. Perhaps an elephant remembers a gentle stranger from years ago. Perhaps a dog still waits by a familiar road. Not because animals are simple, but because memory makes them profoundly complex. And then an uncomfortable question appears. If memory shapes identity, if every remembered face changes the brain, if animals remember love, betrayal, fear, loyalty, and loss, how certain are you that memory alone is what makes you human? Maybe the greatest difference between you and the animals was never memory itself. Maybe it was only your belief that you were the only one capable of it. Se completó la creación del guión. Don't look away yet. Subscribe now and turn on the bell, because the next story might just find you when you least expect it.